Hi, welcome to Info 6, West Nipissing's news, culture, and sports magazine, which will be aired every Thursday at 7 p.m. This week on Info 6, you'll be able to see various reports on amalgamation, the Truckers Show and Shine, as well as the CAP program and the Sturgeon River House Museum. It's summertime, and for about 2 years now, tourists have been able to take advantage of this magnificent building in which I'm standing. It's the West Nipissing Business and Tourism Center, on which we will know a bit more thanks to Denis Gauthier and Nins Ryan.
Has been in operation since June 1995, where we saw the business portion of the building open its door. Then the tourism booth followed very shortly in July, and as of today we're about 95% complete as far as the complete installation in the overall building. We're still developing thematic displays in the tourist booth, and the theater still needs seating and development and creation of the multimedia production studio and whatnot, but otherwise we're greeting both business and tourism inquiries daily. The whole idea of a one-stop shop came to us when we were investigating at the time from eastern provinces, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, where the federal had instituted pilot projects for a one-stop shop where you saw both federal and provincial initiatives then blended in with municipal. So I'm aware that there, as of today, there's probably about 6 sites existing there. But as far as Ontario, we're very unique. We're one of a kind where we've combined both business and tourism under one roof. Today we have the West Nipissing Economic Development Corporation, which is a lead agency providing both federal and provincial access to programs under with Northern Development Mines, FedNor, Industry Canada, and also municipal initiatives. We have the West Nipissing Planning Board, which is within the building itself on the ground floor, the West Nipissing Chamber of Commerce, the Business Association for Sturgeon Falls, the Downtown Core, Main Street business people are in here. Also, we have the community television people, our house upstairs with the technical and production and offices here. And as far as we're concerned, the EDC itself, we have a loans division through the in Industry Canada, known as NIDA locally, which makes loans up to $75,000 to local businesses. And the tourism booth is managed by the EDC, and presently we're restricting our hours of operation to summer months, employing up to 6 students, and hopefully this fall we're going to look at expanding the program and involving seniors to help us coordinate activities in the tourist booth.
The mandate of the Tourist Interpretation Center is to help and promote all the tourism industry in the area. We are blessed in our area to have over 50 tourist operators geared around Lake Nipissing or the other small lake we have in our region, West Nipissing. And we're here to help them promote, in partnership with our region number 7 called the ANTA. We are all here to market the region. The site is here to promote our tourism operator. Each and everyone are welcome to bring in brochures so we can promote there more on one-to-one. If anybody did not visit the site, we have sections of Ontario that people send us brochures. We have people of the West Nipissing area that send us brochures. So basically our mandate is to promote the West Nipissing area in tourism-wise. Tourism ride doesn't just mean the tourist lodges in the area. People noticed that we have one display, it's called the restaurant menu display, that we noticed that a lot of people do come in asking where could I go eat in town or something. They don't usually just ask the name of the restaurant, they'd like to see the menu. So this is one of the things we offer, probably one of the only site that people just browse through the menu. So we have 8 restaurants in West Nipissing that they had the opportunity to promote the restaurant, look at the menu right there, so it's easier for them to make decision what restaurant to go. In the summer month, we're blessed on a yearly basis with summer students. Usually they start in June till the end of August. This year we have 4 students working in the center, so mid-June we usually open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and weekends are 9 till 6 p.m. So the students are busy enough 7 days a week. During the rest of the year, we're open 5 days a week, the same business hour, 8:30 to 4:30. Last year, from June till December, we had 5,000 tourists that signed the registered book. Up to now, we passed the 500 mark, so I'm looking probably to surpass the 5,000 at the end of December. We average about, starting in July, about 80 people a day that comes in. Since May that we started this year, we have people from Germany, Ohio, down south. We had a lot of people from, like I say, all over the world. They do drop by. Anywhere in West Nipissing. It's hard to say or dictate what place. It all depends of what the tourist is looking for. If you're looking at family-wise, if you're looking for beaches, if you're looking for fishing, canoeing, we have it all here in West Nipissing. So basically, it all depends of the tourists. What's their goal, what they want to do for the summer months in the West Nipissing area. We could probably send them any sites that we have would accommodate anyone.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Gauthier and Madame Zuraim, for the scoop on the West Nipissing Business and Tourism Center. We're sure to be in and have a look at the place. Right now, I'm sitting on this pretty big truck. Well, actually, it's peanuts compared to what was running down these streets a couple weeks ago for the Truckers Show and Shine 1997. So here is Isabelle Mosler with the play-by-play of the parade, followed by a brief report on the activities of the Show and Shine.
Good morning. This is Sunday, June 22nd, with a big parade for the Truckers Show and Shine. Here's my friend Lise Senecal, noted anthropologist and archaeologist for the town of Sturgeon Falls. And she's going to do some francophone or French play-by-play for the parade that's coming down the street. Lise, what's that noise? I heard the organizer for this parade is Lynn Doe, and she's walking around back and forth, and when we see her, we'll grab her and get a chance to talk to her. She says that we have more trucks in this year's parade than we had last year's. Now, you may not be able to hear us for a while because we have a fire someplace. So. All right, there's our Sturgeon Falls Fire Department and the Springer Township Fire Department. Right on, guys. Support from Circa Food Services. They were one of the major sponsors of this event, and they really came through. You know, it really is true how much we are dependent in the north on the trucking industry, and it's really wonderful that Sturgeon Falls has made a huge effort to really show their appreciation for the truckers of the region who mean so much to the local economy and who really keep the lifelines in the north open up. We're brush painting for trucks. What a fantastic artist he is. Just take a look at the side of this truck.
Si vous prenez un regard sur le camion qui passe présentement, apparemment c'est le monsieur qui fait tous ses designs pour lui-même. C'est très, très beau.
I want to thank Lise Senecal for coming out and helping me. And by the time next year rolls around, we're going to be experts on trucks. And for me, it's not just going to be big truck, small truck. I'm going to know a chassis from a steering wheel. Very much. And that was the parade for the Sturgeon Falls 1997 Truckers Show and Shine. See you next year.
Don't forget, thank you very much, Louis. You did a terrific job as usual.
As we all know, the Sturgeon River House Museum is filled with interesting relics from our past here in West Nipissing. However, what most people do not know is that the museum recently opened new hiking trails. Here is Denis Arsenault, who will tell us a bit more about the museum and these new trails.
Someone has to put the exhibits together. Someone has to organize it, to run the place, and that's basically my job as a curator at the Sturgeon River House Museum. The Sturgeon River House Museum is it's an actual site of a Hudson Bay trading post. It dates 1848 to 1879. Then the post closed. The Hudson Bay Post, as such, was a small little building on the site here, because we're right on the Sturgeon River, about 1 kilometer from the mouth of Lake Nipissing. We found that there's a huge market for low impact nature trails, and it just so happens that we are just right in the middle of significant wetlands. It's been designated by the province of Ontario, by the Ministry of Natural Resources, and is just adjacent across the road from us. This spring, we had a generous donation of about 70 acres from the Steve and Kathy Annis, which is our neighbors, and with this we were able to start then our first trail from our parking lot, and then it's adjacent to the Ministry Crown Lands, and from there we go quite a few kilometers in. Trail number 1 is about 1.5 kilometers long. It goes up to the large fen and then comes back, loops, and returns along the trail. There's boardwalks. They were built because of the high water in the spring and also in the fall. Also, we have a bird watching platform in one of the small fens, and then, at the end of the trail we have what's called a rest station, also a platform overlooking the large fen, and from this platform we'll be extending, and then I'm building a boardwalk to cross the large fen, and we're going to be ending up in the Bay of Cache Bay, hopefully by the end of this fall. Just that itself is to be amazing, because we're going to have a platform where people can come and sit down. We're going to do some bird watching, especially the waterfowl in the Bay Cache Bay. It's amazing the amount of species. The Ministry of Natural Resources has been working with us hand in hand, and has been excellent. They've seen it as an education tool, and so did we, and that's the business we're in. We're here to educate the people. Like a lot of people don't realize that a square kilometer of wetlands produces and filters same amount of oxygen as a square kilometer has the famous rainforests out in Brazil. We charge $2 a person, and with that you have access to the nature trail. Also, you have access to the exhibits. I have a traveling exhibit inside, and also to the museum on the site. As a lot of people would probably know, developing anything, especially a nature trail, is quite costly, and we have to defer the cost somehow. So, but I think it's a fairly good deal for $2. Yes, and I think West Nipissing, the people of West Nipissing, they're quite lucky. They have a little gem here, and it's quite unique because there is no other nature trail of this sort in Northern Ontario, and they're going to be the first ones. Every year is going to be developed a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, taking in consideration the environmental impact. But we're going to have something quite unique in a couple of years here, and people are going to be quite proud.
Well, if you ask me, the museum has pretty funky trails. But right now, I'm standing in front of the Sturgeon Falls Public Library, where I'm going to find out just a bit more about CAP, that is, the Community Access Program.
And what does CAP do?
CAP was established in 1995 by the Ontario Library Association and Industry Canada, and Sturgeon Falls came to have it in 1996. And what it basically does is it makes the general public aware of the benefits of the internet, and also helps them train them in basic Windows and operation and HTML programming web pages and internet use.
And you, of course.
There's sites. They're set up all over West Nipissing District. There's the museum, Au Chateau. There's the EDC building here, and Franco Cité Northern Secondary School, and Frank Casey, and also the public library in Verner, and also the one in Sturgeon Falls here.
So there's what, 8 sites total? 8 satellites?
Yeah, 8 sites. Totally free service. You can sign up to have a workshop in learning how to use the internet, and also small businesses can also sign up and find out what the internet can do for them and how they can benefit from the worldwide advertising on the net. And at each site there are a few computers, like about 3 or each site has a different amount of computers that can be used, but at each site they're used for specific purposes. Like at the library it would be more for research, and the museum maybe also for historical research also, and it's open to the general public.
Terrific. Well, I thank you very much.
Earlier, when I introduced the program, I promised you a report on the controversial amalgamation. Well, here it is. Here is Pat Sayer and Gary O'Connor to tell us their sentiments on this famous question.
We feel it's quite a positive move at this time.
So, you feel that this whole question is definitely a good thing,
I think it is.
despite all the uncertainties.
There are uncertainties, but I think we can, right now we're hoping that prior to the amalgamation, these uncertainties will be answered. And I think another year, by that time, the provincial government will have established exactly what they expect the municipalities to pick up, and what type of financial backing we can expect, grants, etc. And I think it will be. But it's going to take time to put it all in place.
As far as Sturgeon Falls is concerned, the effects would be long-reaching, positive effects for that matter. We would become a more important municipality. We would become better economically. a stronger municipality. One that could be heard much easier, if you wish, at Queen's Park and in Ottawa. Rather than speaking for some 6,000 people, we would be representing a population of 13,500.
And but the amalgamation means that when it goes through, not if now, but when it's going to go through, Sturgeon Falls as a political and economic entity will cease to exist. It will now become West Nipissing.
Part of West Nipissing.
Yes, part of West Nipissing.
Along with the other 4 municipalities and
Yes.
the unstructured townships.
But Sturgeon Falls as the region with its own name and personal identity, that will live on.
Oh, yes, of course. We're a very strong population here with very strong roots, a very diversified history, community groups who have established their importance in the community, groups that we could not live without. They will continue, we will continue, but under a new umbrella, that of West Nipissing.
Its purpose.
Well, I think the central element is to develop an area that is more attractive to potential businesses, so they'll come and establish here, and also to residential development. And also, I think, to operate a government that'll cover all the municipalities. That's 5 municipalities, including the unorganized townships, and do it in a more effective and cost-saving manner by buying in bulk and using all tools, whether it's administrative right down to public works, also including personnel, so that there'll be no duplication of services.
So, if I understand correctly, this is purely a economic and political question, this amalgamation.
I would say it's both economic
And to gain.
For West Nipissing itself, better services. Services aim to improve the quality of life of each and every one of us. Sturgeon Falls, per se, has an awful lot to offer to our neighbors, and everyone will profit from what we have gained over the years. For example, access to the recreation complex. We have a brand new water plant, and at the present time we're servicing Cache Bay, parts of Springer. We've improved our sewage treatment plant, and in so doing we will be able to provide services to our neighbors within reason. I don't think the plant, the hydro plant, would have the capacity to serve all of the unstructured townships. We have to be realistic in this exercise, but we all have an awful lot of faults.
Well, I think we can say at this time, we all know that numbers is power and unity is strength. So by having them all amalgamate, the 5 municipalities, I think they'll represent a more constructive, more powerful, and unified area that will be more attractive.
Yes.
So they can expect to pay a bit
Taxes
more.
will increase, especially that will be especially felt in the unstructured township.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate. Okay, but the province made it clear that they have to pay.
Will they be paying the same amount, same percentage as?
There'll be a market value.
Market.
Okay. Yes. At the present time, the assessors are circulating in the community, and the people will be paying a market value tax bill.
Okay.
In the past, residents in the unorganized townships did not pay for certain services that they will have to pay for now, and the only way to pay for those services is by increasing the, very much so. The reason for countries allying and joining forces is to become stronger. That is the reason municipalities are amalgamating, to become stronger, especially on the economic basis. But differently from the Triple Alliance, NAFTA, Germany, they remain as independent countries, but their own coffers, okay, their own debt load. Whereas in a municipal restructuring, we become one municipality. We're dealing with one debt load. We're dealing with one coffer. At the same time, each municipality will retain, or is retaining, its particular identity. Does this answer your question?
Yes.